This is my Ascend FS128T 2016 version. I bought this in May of 2016 from Bass Pro Shops. The 2016 version is very similar to the 2015, has the raised hatches as you can see. The only difference between it and the 2015 version was the rail blazer attachments come factory, one on each side, and they've also removed the rod holder that used to be on the side that was kind of in the way of your paddling. So other than that, I don't think they made too much for adjustments to it. I think it's the same model, just with those two simple changes. So it works fantastic. I've been very happy with it. It works great. It's very stable, easy to use. Just overall a great kayak. There's lots of videos on this, so I won't go through all the features. I think you've probably already seen all those if you're looking at these videos, but everything's where you need it. Lots of hatches, lots of storage, your rod tip holder, lots of tie downs. Works great. A couple things I've done to update it. I've added a different oar that I bought, or paddle. It's also Ascend, but it was carbon fiber. It's lighter than the other one, so I just found it you needed a little bit longer than the one that comes with it factory. I also added the fish finder or depth finder. It's a Humminbird 197C. I did a lot of research on this. I watched probably every video that's online about the Ascend and the different ways that guys have mounted these fish finders to their boat. I saw many videos where they attached the fish finder to the hatch, and then they had the battery pack below in the hatch. And I found every time that they'd open it, they would bang their fish finder to the side of their kayak, and I just think that doesn't make a lot of sense. If you're going to spend some money on a digital product like that probably needs to be taken care of, I don't think you want to crack it every time you open the hatch to go in and charge your batteries. So I mounted it with a ball mount, a ram mount here, and then just bought the attachment that fits on there, and then I just drilled a hole and ran the cables in through, and then my battery pack is at the back hatch, which I'll show you in a minute. I also bought the Railblazer, I think it's called Railblazer attachment, and that just it's like an arm. You had to buy another little attachment that attaches down here and fits in there, and then this part just pops right in there. I like it. You can just mount it down when you're getting into the water. You just pull it down like that, get into the water, and away you go. When you're coming into shore, I can usually use my paddle to just pull it back up as well. It's easy to adjust, easy to change. You can tighten it and loosen it on the rail. And like I said, the Railblazer attachment is factory now on the 2016 and going forward version, so you might as well take advantage of it and utilize it and use it with this. I think this whole setup cost me an extra $75, and it avoided me having to do the mount inside the hatch, which I saw a lot of videos of guys doing as well with the silicone. I don't know what the version they call it, like a boat, I think is what I saw it described as a few times. I think that doesn't make a lot of sense. I think you lose your temperature readings, and I think you lose a lot of accuracy as well. With this setup, it's a cheaper depth finder I have, but I can see my rod, or I can see my hook going down. Like, it's very accurate. It picks up every single thing in the water. I can watch my hook all the way down, 17 feet of water. It'll go down and it picks it up. So it works very well. So that's one modification I made. I did the anchor trolley as well. I think one off of Amazon I bought. Works very well. Added another little cleat there as well, just to tie on my anchor system, which is pretty a simple one. I think it was like a $5 from Bass Pro Shops with a 3.5 anchor, a 3.5 pound anchor. Added a milk crate back here with a rod holder. I think I saw another video. The guy did this too. He put a bungee cord, just tied it in a knot on this side inside the milk crate, and then I can use that strap to go over top of the rods to hold them in place while I'm getting to where I need to go, and then when I get there I can just unhook it and use whatever rod I need. Works pretty slick. Also added another ram mount up back here just for my net, so it's easy to grab. I keep my rods either in the holes or on the other side in the rod holder on the milk crate. Works great. From other additions I've done is, I'll come around to this side and show you the lights that I added, the switches. So I have two light switches here, waterproof switches. So the first one is to turn on interior lights or on the boat or inside the boat. So I just have little 3 LED strips that I've attached there. I'll turn it off so you can kind of just see what it is. They're just the little LED strip lights, but they work great at night. So I have 2 there, 1 by each foot pad. And then I have 1 each on the back behind as well, right where the rod holders are as well. And they work great. Gives me lots of light in the evening. If I am out night fishing, I can see what I'm doing here. And then I also added a light inside the hatch here too, so that if I am needing something out of here, I can flip that light on. All 5 lights are together, sorry. So when you flip one on, they all come on together at the same time. So interior and exterior are together. Or sorry, interior in this in the hatch, and the footlights are all together. Secondly, I added this is the second switch here. It's for just the lights on the exterior of the boat for night as well. So I have a green and a red at the front, and then at the back I have the white light. And again, they're just LED strip lights. I'll give you a quick shot at the end of this video in the dark, just so you can see how bright they are, both lights. So that's my light system that I have in there. So 2 switches control that, works great. I'll show you my battery pack here for a quick second. I keep my battery inside the hatch. I really don't go into the hatch when I'm fishing, so it's kind of set up. I've seen a lot of videos with the guys that have turned the door around, but I just don't really find any need to go in there anyways. Everything I have is everything I need is in the front, or in the front hatch, or on the top. So I don't really use that hatch, so I use it for just for the battery storage. So I'll show you that right now. Okay, here's my battery pack that I keep in the back hatch of the kayak. It's a black waterproof case that I bought from Princess Auto, which is a Canadian automotive and accessory supply store in Canada. The case has 4 plugs on the side. It has two prong connectors here that I use for the lights, and one for the lights and one for the fish finder. And then it also has some 12 volt cigarette lighter style adapters there as well. All 4 are waterproof and can be sealed up. The case itself is also shock resistant and waterproof. I bought this one. I know it's bigger than I need, but I like the idea that I can add a second battery if I want to at some point down the road. I have a little sensor, or a little plug, just to check my battery life. If I'm out for the day, I can see how much life I've got left. I keep my charger in here. Here I have a fuse box, 1 fuse for every plug that I have on the side, and then I also have a master fuse that goes to the battery as well, just to protect the battery. And then this is the wiring for the 4 plugs down below as well. So when I'm not using it, I can just unplug the batteries and stick the cable down the side and get it out of the way, so I don't have to worry about it touching or anything like that while it's closed up. And that's how it works. It's a really good pack. It's like I said, shockproof, waterproof. I don't have to worry about it getting knocked around or anything like that, and it really fits into the hatch quite nicely. So if I just pop it down like that, and then I can plug my cables in and push it back just probably a little bit, but as you can see, once it's in there, it's really locked into place, and it can't really move, which is what I like about it. Is once it's in the hatch, it doesn't move. It's stable in there, and it still closes up and locks up tight. So I really like it for that fact that it's a perfect fit, and I really don't need anything else in that hatch because it's out of reach, and I don't really like using it while I'm out in the water. So the only thing I'm really using it for is the battery, so it works perfect. So when I am wanting to go out a little bit further, I just use this wood and PVC pipe bracket and trolling motor that I bought. It's just a cheap 30 pound thrust Minn Kota I also bought from Bass Pro Shops. Works great. I can access it all from where I'm sitting, lower it and raise it however I want on the water. Very easy to use. And then I just keep my battery inside the milk crate tied down with the tie down, and then I just keep my tackle box up at the front on those days when I am going out a little further. It's a very easy to take off device as well. I just unscrew the trolling motor, of course, and then this thing just pops out as well. It really didn't take anything to build it, to make it. I just used PVC pipe and wood. Just attached a second board there to make it a little thicker, and then I bracketed these PVC pieces to the wood, and they hold it in place. It works great. Nothing too fancy, but it was cheap and easy to use. And then I just taped on some pool noodles just to give it a little bit extra traction when it sticks inside the rod holder holes. So it works pretty slick, and it's, like I said, it's easy to put on, easy to take off. Doesn't take up a lot of weight. The battery's heavy, of course, but otherwise it's not too bad. Doesn't add too much weight to the boat, and works really good. Gets it around. So you don't need anything more than 30 pounds, I don't think, on this kayak. You certainly could add more, but I don't think it's necessary. Lastly, the only other thing I'd recommend is if you are going to get this boat, the one thing you should buy is the dolly system. It really makes it easier for moving the kayak around. You can definitely lift the kayak. I'm 6'1", about 220, and I can lift it around, but it's not the easiest thing to do. It definitely has some weight, and it's very awkward. The dolly makes it much easier once you pop it on the wheels, which you can easily do by yourself. One person can pop it on the wheels, and then you can move it around very easily, no problem at all. So I would definitely recommend purchasing that. And lastly, I'll just show you the lighting system with the lights on, and I'll turn off the lights in my garage so you can see it a bit better. Here it is with the lights on the front. As you can see, the red and the green, the navigation lights, and then up here with the outside lights as well. And then I'll just show you inside the hatch too, the extra light that's down there in case you need to do anything or get inside of it. These lights give me more than enough for what I need to see. I don't need to have too much light out here, but these give me lots of light. I can see back in the hatch when I need to get something out. And I can see at my feet when for whatever I'm doing at the front as well. So plenty of light, and there's my fish finder, and then here's also the backlight lit up in the dark as well. So as you can see, it gives off quite a bit of light on the deck, and definitely lots of light on the water. No one's going to miss me. So that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. I'd be glad to help you out or answer any questions you may have. Thanks very much.